What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the vlog and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time stopping by, please subscribe. Take a minute to watch some other videos also on this build series if this is the first episode you are watching. Anyway, I did want to update you guys on the paint. So we got the truck back and everything is officially done minus a few little tweaks. And this thing turned out awesome. The guy did a really good job with it. Let's get a little light on this thing so you can see how well he did. So I told you guys we were going to go back old school, and we did go back with the rallies. And they've got the Cooper Cobra Radial GTs on it. Of course, you know, the last video we talked about all that. And here's a little idea how good this paint turned out. I mean, it's really good. Super impressed with it. You know, the overall look is exactly what I was looking for. You know, it has this old school nostalgic look to it now. Got some poke in the back with those 275/60s. Also, you can see that it's really wide. The stance is crazy on this thing. So the paint turned out pretty good, you know, for what I gave for it and what I'm going to use the truck for. Obviously, you know, it's I wasn't looking to spend $5,000 on a perfect paint job, but the guy did really good work, and it turned out great. You know, I'm pretty happy with it overall. Of course, if you go looking at it and you start nitpicking on it, you can find places in it. You know, you might find a hazy spot here, or, you know, something if you go looking real close. Overall, though, you can see down the lines, it's really good. Honestly, guys, this paint job is just as good as what is on the muscle truck. If you guys know about that one, that's my other build that we did on a full-size Silverado. Turned out equally as good on that truck. So, pretty happy with it. They did fix, if you remember the rust that we had in this cab corner over here, it was really bad. And, you know, we got all that repaired. Looks really good. This guy done an excellent job taking care of that. And while he was at it, I had him go ahead and do the other cab corner. The lighting in here is kind of poor, but he did do the other cab corner as well. Let's have a look at this side, which is in perfect shape now. And also had him paint all the way down. Now, a lot of paint jobs, people won't go the extra mile to paint like the very bottom rocker, especially on a truck that's lowered like this, because you know, I've got a 4-inch drop in the front, 3-inch drop in the back. This thing's pretty low. Most people know, oh, you know, we can get away with not painting the bottom of it. This guy took the extra pains to even get down here and make sure all that was nice and painted. So, you know, he did a really good job on this truck. So I am super happy with it. And this is kind of, we're getting closer on this thing. You know, this is kind of the overall look that you guys are going to see is, this is what you're going to get right here. You know, it's back Arctic white. I believe that's the color code that we went with. Of course, that's actually just factory code. Nothing fancy about it. Of course, I got a roll-in bed liner. It looks like it's, you know, it's kind of dirty and stuff from where they've been storing some of the parts of the truck. As they were sanding on the truck, they stored some of the stuff in the bed. So that's why this is a little dirty, but it's got a roll-in bed, you know, kind of a roll-in bed liner from Advance. It turned out pretty good. I am going to put a tonneau on this, though. Just one of those flat black X-Tang covers that snaps on. Just something to keep the rust and stuff from any kind of water from getting in here. And also, here's another big thing I want to talk to you guys about. If you remember the last video, I was telling you all about how we had so many rust issues with this tailgate. He got down in here and fixed every bit of that. So down in here, there's some drain holes, as you guys can see. What had happened on this particular tailgate is the water was getting down into these drain holes and not coming out. So it found its way to the bottom lip here. And what it had done is it had bubbled up and just absolutely destroyed the entire bottom tailgate. So he was able to save it. I got really lucky on this thing. Because most of the time, once it goes through the tailgate and you start to see that bubbling on the bottom, it's kind of too far gone. But he did really good, you know, even in the jams. You know, he got in here and painted the inside of the tailgate. So I was pretty happy about that. You know, he done a really good job overall. I mean, that's pretty slick paint. That looks pretty good. I mean, for what I gave for it, you know, he did a really good job. Like I said, I wasn't trying to paint, you know, put a $5,000 paint job on a truck and then be scared to drive it or take it anywhere. So that's what we ended up doing. This thing looks pretty good overall. You know, I'll update you guys on what's coming up next. Of course, we got shocks. Those are going to go on next. We're going to replace all that. And also I'm going to do the exhaust next, so be sure and stay tuned for that. I've got some more stuff coming. And of course I've got one thing I'm going to take care of in today's vlog. This is probably something that a lot of people have trouble with, but this back glass, they managed to miss this part. But there's some chipping going on here, so we're going to paint that today and kind of touch that up a little bit, make it look a little better. That's really the only part that they missed on getting this paint job done. So pretty happy with it overall though, and even on the hood is pretty good paint. You see down the lines there. He did a really good job. So yeah, pretty happy with the overall look. You know, it turned out pretty good. As you can see, even down the side of the truck, guy did a pretty good job. As far as a few little places it needs to be buffed a little bit more, you know, there might be a couple spots. If the light hits it just the right way, you can kind of see. I don't know if you guys can actually see this or not, but there's like a couple little places in it right here. See right through there? It's not like bad, it's just where it's been buffed, and maybe something was underneath this towel or whatever, but you can barely see it. But you got to get down here like on top of it and go trying to find something wrong with it. So that's the only real complaint I've got with the paint job and how it turned out. But you know, like I said, the next step is to get the exhaust fixed and a few other things that have been bothering me about it. We're going to get all that taken care of. Should have all this lined up to happen, I'm hoping this week. He did a few also nice little touches in here too by kind of painting the inside of the jambs. You know, those are, he kind of blended it in and rolled it around this corner, so he did a really good job. But the guy that did the work, if you're from the East Tennessee area, his name's David Gray at Custom Car Body Shop. You should be able to find him on the internet. I don't know if he's on Facebook, but he's a smaller shop, local guy. He is, as far as how he charges, it's very reasonable, and the paint that you get is really good for what you pay. You know, obviously, if you're expecting showroom perfection, absolutely not a single blemish anywhere, you go ahead and get $3,500 to $4,000 out at least. And you know, most of those shops are gonna be backed up, or you know, really hard to get the truck back fast. He got this thing done in 3 weeks flat. I mean, he put 2 cab corners in and repainted the whole truck in 3 weeks, and it looks this good. So I am absolutely thrilled with how it turned out. I couldn't be any happier. I mean, it's not perfect. No, by no means is it perfect. But, you know, for what I wanted the truck to do and what I'm going to do with it, this should be just fine. You know, I don't like to use the phrase, it's just an S10, because any vehicle that you modify, it's not just an S10, or it's not just a Civic, or whatever it is you're working on. You know, it's something that you have worked towards to get. And it's something you wanted to do, so it's special no matter what you're working on. It means something. So this, you know, this truck may not be worth a whole lot of money, but to me, you know, it's worth enough to where I'm probably never going to sell it. But the tires, you know, we talked about the setup on the stance and everything. They turned out pretty good, and as far as like any rubbing issues, I'm having no rubbing issues at all. There's still plenty of clearance in here, even running a 275/60. So this is a 3-inch block. Basically, it's all that's done to the back of this truck. And they turned out really good. You know, we just basically left it kind of with the silver finish on these wheels. Went with the nice chrome center cap. And I think it sets it off pretty good when you use those two things together. Kind of give it that old school nostalgic look. And the rake on this thing's pretty intense. Got this awful pole here that you got to look at. But anyway, you can definitely tell that the rake is, you know, it has that look to it, like it's got something going on in the front. You know, most people think it's a V8 truck. So he had some serious rust issues to contend with here, and he took care of all of those. I mean, it is really nice now. I'm just so happy to have this thing back rust-free. I even had some rust places up here in the bed, you know, along through here, and they were bad. I mean, it was trying to bubble up and stuff, and he was able to get, you know, enough of it out to where you could blend it. They've done a good job. Resprayed the whole thing, though. I mean, this is an all-over paint job. And as you guys know, it didn't look that bad before, but it definitely was a huge turnaround now. Anyways, if you guys like what you see, be sure and subscribe. Click right here and you can follow me and everything else that we're going to do on this channel. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'm out.